right. It's election day. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So, what are you up to,
Everything's
Allison?
fantastic here. Everything's
What
fantastic.
did you do? Did you go to that place that pours liquid cheese into bags of Doritos?
No, actually, so far we really just went to our appointment, but then we're gonna go right after we record this to the aquarium because that's when I asked you what time to record the show. I was trying to see if we should go to the aquarium right now or if we should wait until after we record. So we're gonna do that right after this. We're gonna head over to the aquarium. Hi, Ryan in the chat. Morgan's in the chat. A bunch of people are here listening. I think Mark from Wakefield is
You,
in the
you,
chat. A bunch of
you
different
had
people.
mentioned that Morgan heard me call a caller a dickhead today, and
Yes,
Morgan, I thought they cut that because I called. Yeah,
apparently not.
I said something
Apparently not.
about his
Sleeping at the
mother too.
wheel at
Well,
Odyssey.
no, because I asked actually the executive producer because he was in there in the control booth. I asked him, "Can you say dickhead?" And he said, "No." I said,
Oh,
"Oh, I assume
well,
they cut it, but no,
well,
apparently
apparently
not.
Morgan
Or
heard
maybe
it,
not on the
so
app. Maybe it comes through anyway."
yeah, who knows? No
Oh,
FCC
wonderful,
on the internet.
wonderful.
Okay. Oh, what a happy day. I'm so excited for tonight. I am in negotiations to possibly be live streaming on Twitter tonight around 9 with the Rhino podcast. So that
Really?
could be fun.
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
I offered your name to Turtle Boy, and because he didn't take you up on it.
Well, at least I didn't hear from him. I don't know. But yeah, it's that guy, Jeff who used to be on with Sue O'Connell and they did like politics on TV. Vaguely, nothing.
Jeff what?
Um, Semen or whatever. I don't know how to say his last name.
Oh, yeah, sounds very familiar. Yes, yes.
Yeah, anyway, and then my friend Caitlin from
Face looks
Twitter, who's
fatter.
been on my podcast too. What? Your
My
face
face
looks
looks
fatter?
fatter.
Maybe it's the lighting. I
Yeah,
don't know. I had to
I
pull the
haven't been
curtain across the
adherent.
window a little because the light was too bright on me from the California
You don't
sunshine over
have that
here.
here. You don't have
Yeah,
sunshine here.
no, Connecticut doesn't have sunshine. So yeah, I have a little bit
So,
across my face.
Alice, who's going to be the next senator elect from Pennsylvania?
That will be Senator Oz from Pennsylvania. I'm very excited about that.
Correct. Katie Hobbs or Carrie Lake?
Carrie Lake, Carrie Lake.
Although there's been election problems in Arizona today. Did
Yeah,
you see this?
well, yeah, but they
Maricopa
have.
County.
I saw Harmeet Dillon too tweeting that they have lawyers on the ground there. They're going to make sure everybody's vote gets counted. Please still show up and vote. Because that's the problem with some of this stuff is like, I get it. Like, we're concerned about fraud, but you also still vote, please. Because this is what I hear from people on the right. It's like, there's so much fraud. I'm never voting again. We can't win. We're just going to lose. Please, please still vote. Just vote. Like, I know that they might still cheat, but if you don't vote, then we're definitely not going to win. So, you know, like, don't get discouraged. So yeah, because that's the danger with that, because that was a lot of what happened in Georgia. I felt like is people were saying like, well, if they can just steal it, then who cares?
Right,
And
right.
I think Trump contributed to that too in Georgia last time. So
We
that
did, yeah.
was so I really want people to show up and vote and remember that.
Who will be
Like,
the next senator elect in Georgia?
I think Herschel Walker's got that one.
Correct.
So 538, which I always look at to see like what they're thinking, is they've frozen their forecast for the day now, and
Hmm.
they have more likely than not Republicans winning in Pennsylvania. Did you see that graphic, by the way, that like of because all these polls have come through since the debate, where it was showing like Fetterman more likely to win, Fetterman more likely to win, and then all of a sudden like Oz is like more likely to win right there, like at the end, it's like almost vertical. It's crazy. Um, but anyway, so they have Oz in Pennsylvania, they have Walker in Georgia,
Hmm.
and then they have it and they have Nevada. with the Republican winning, and they don't have they have the Democrats winning in New Hampshire and in Arizona, but both are very, very close. So those are like the five to kind of watch at the moment that the control for the Senate is hanging on. So realistically, I mean, I think it looks like probably at least 52 seats and potentially 53 or 54 is in the realm of possibilities for the Senate. So, and I told you last night, I forget if it was on here or not, but my like over on I think it's possible that the Republicans could get like 240 in the House, possibly.
240. Yes, I agree.
You don't know. You're just agreeing because
No, I'm looking at 538 right now. It's funny, the homepage for 538 is not working, but the
the
projection
election
page is.
projection.
Yeah. I also like this other thing you sent along here. Is that somebody knocking here? Okay. From Inside Radio, harsh advertising headwinds push Odyssey revenues down 4% in Q3.
Yep.
I'm glad I got my salmon and asparagus last night on the on David Field.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
I can
I'm
see that.
glad. Yeah, headwinds. Although one thing that was interesting in that article that it did say is that the small and mid-sized markets are doing better than the bigger markets.
Mm,
So that's good. They said they're
interesting.
struggling more because they're overrepresented in bigger markets.
Well, this is why I shaved, Alice. We didn't get the sponsor for No Shave November.
Oh, you
So
didn't?
I've shaved. Oh, by the way, you see the shirt I'm wearing? Can you see?
Um, I tried to set it up so you could see. Yeah, there you go. Sullivan's Castle and Island.
Sullivan's Castle. It's Sullivan's at Castle Island. It's
Oh,
have
Castle
you not
Island.
heard of Sullivan?
No.
Do you know what Castle Island is?
It's in Boston
Do
Harbor,
you?
right? You've
It
talked
is in
about going
Boston
there
Harbor.
before,
That's
but we
right.
never have. I don't
To
know.
be precise, I don't think you think Castle Island is an island, but the fact that you think it's in Boston Harbor is
I
excellent.
don't know.
I
Why are you
guess it's in
making fun
Boston.
of me?
Nobody,
Why?
nobody from Boston would ever say
I'm
Castle
not
Island
from
is in Boston
Boston.
Harbor.
I'm not. Why is this happening to me? I don't know.
It's funny. You're such a Lexington girl, rich kid. Something in Boston Harbor? That's
I don't
filthy.
know.
Um, that reminds me.
What's
No,
Castle
by the way, the guy
Island?
on
Well,
Twitter,
now you have to tell me what it is.
Castle Island was there's a fort there, which is I believe
Okay.
I think if I'm not wrong, I think it was a fort there. It's like 150 years old or something. It was post-revolution, so maybe War of 1812, whatever. One of many island fortresses to protect Boston Harbor from invasion, I think. And it was, I think that Paul Revere was jailed there briefly. I think if that's right. He was certainly jailed somewhere near for screwing up a raid in Maine um during the war of, was it the Revolution or the War of 1812? Anyway, he was jailed somewhere around there. What else is I gonna say? This is from Tim and Canton.
That's exciting. I
Yeah,
love Tim and Canton.
yeah, great man, great man.
Okay.
Um, it is interesting because here's my question for you.
Okay.
Donald Trump announces that he's going to run for president in a week,
Hmm.
whatever.
Yep.
Republicans win the House and the Senate. Obviously, the media and progressives are going to want to immediately make everything about Trump, everything. But tell me, how easy is that for them to do this time around when they've got all these other targets to want to give attention to, like Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene, even Matt Gaetz, and some of the other like gung ho extreme Trumpist candidates, including like MTG Marjorie Taylor Greene now. She'll be on committees, like have a good position on committees, etc. These people will be more vocal than ever. So I'm wondering if the Trump white hot spotlight will be divided among a bunch of people this time instead of just him.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is too that there isn't any more a consensus in the party around Trump the way there was, like, say, in 2018. And And I think that it's tougher when you have a lot of people saying like Trump really shouldn't run again at this point, and I don't know, I don't know how that race is going to shake out, but I told you, I think I said this on the show yesterday, but like I have four that I think are definitely running. Trump, Pence, DeSantis, and Pompeo, I think are all going to be in there. And I don't know like how that plays out, but I think that that changes very much the dynamic of the way that the Democrats can frame this because they can't make the whole party into the Trump party if there is support for other people. And I think there is a lot of support for other people. DeSantis is incredibly popular in the party. And I think too that Republicans need to think about the
Well,
fact.
I mean, it's hard to say about Pompeo and Pence because they were in the administration, except for the fact that
But they're both big anti-Trumpers now.
are they big anti-Trumpers or are they
I think
careful?
so.
I mean, I just don't think they're in. I don't think they're avowed Trump apologists anymore. But I don't know if they're anti-Trumpers.
I kind of think they're anti-Trumpers in terms of that. I mean, like, certainly you can't pin any of the January 6th stuff on Pence, so that makes that complicated. And Pompeo, too, like, I think he's deep state all the way. So that's, a non-starter to try and put that on him. But Ron DeSantis is kind of the unknown quantity because he and Trump have this sort of uneasy relationship right now where they're kind of avoiding saying that they don't like each other, but they both know that they're planning to run against each other very soon. Um, how long DeSantis goes without getting into that race, Trump's going to announce in like a week. Every day that goes by where Trump is running and DeSantis is not is tough for DeSantis, but at the same time, like it looks bad to announce you're running for president before you even start the term you just got elected to 5 minutes ago. So I do think that piece makes it tougher for DeSantis too, the like when to time the announcement. I agree with you, Morgan, that Mike Pence and Mike Pompeo don't have a chance, but I think they're both. I think it's like personal for both of them. I think they're both going to be in. Um, just my opinion though, so I don't know. Who knows? Anything could happen. But I think everybody else is like too wimpy to get in. Like I don't think they want to challenge Trump. So if Trump's in, they're not. Um, but
The,
yeah, I think the thing that's tough too that Democrats have to deal with is that they are not going to be in 2024. They're not going to be running against an incumbent Trump who's doing things that people don't like. They're going to be running with an incumbent in there who's doing things that people don't like. And that makes it way harder to beat Trump because people are incredibly unhappy with the way that the country's going. They're incredibly unhappy with the stuff Biden's been doing, the economy, the crime, all this stuff.
this
You
is
just,
Biden 2 days ago in New York.
No more drilling. There is no more drilling. I haven't formed any new drilling. No,
He looks totally lost answering this girl,
that was before I was president. We're trying to work on that, get that done.
saying out loud in a mic, "No new drilling. Not going to do any new drilling."
yep,
Karine Jean-Pierre contradicted later on.
of course. Of course, she contradicted it later on because they're struggling to come up with a message. They can't make everyone happy. Their party's being run by total loonies, and it's going to be worse after the midterm. The things that they're going to propose and say they're doing are going to become wackier and wackier,
Mhm.
and even the people in the media, even in the people in the press briefing room that speak to Karine Jean-Pierre are going to know that the direction that we're headed is not a good one. Like the mainstream publications now say stuff like the extra stimulus helped cause the inflation. We overheated the
Mm-hmm.
economy. We did too much,
Yeah,
right?
and progressives like Hillary Rosen, who worked with Hillary Clinton, she's got a doomsday a warning.
Hillary, you have a different take maybe than Bakari on Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mark
Speaking
is
as
right.
a Democrat.
I'm a loyal Democrat, but I am not happy. I just think that we did not listen to voters in this election, and I think we're going to have a bad night. And this conversation is not going to have much impact on Tuesday, but I hope it has an impact going forward. Because when voters tell you over and over and over again that they care mostly about the economy, listen to them. Stop talking about democracy being at stake. Democracy is at stake because people are fighting so much about what elections mean. I mean, voters have told us what they wanted to hear, and I don't think Democrats have really delivered this cycle.
I think
So there we go.
Yeah.
Do you expect a bad night? And it's going to be nationally a bad night. By
So
the
do
way-
you think there's any chance that they will pivot? Is there any way for them to do that at this point? Or are they so locked in that they can't turn around? I mean, did you see the Van Jones clip that I sent you?
Yeah. Hang on. It's kind of pathetic.
Yeah, because they're so in denial right now, and I mean, we'll see because we'll see how well Republicans do. They might do better than expected or worse than expected here, but I think the consensus is that it's going to be a pretty bad night for Democrats, but people are so in denial. I was just talking to that guy Jeff from the Rhino podcast earlier, and he has a bet with Sue O'Connell made a couple days ago, not like in the spring or something. Sue O'Connell thinks that Democrats are going to take the Senate and keep the Senate and the House.
Jeez. Oh man. What is she watching?
I don't know, but I don't know how they're in
Yeah.
such denial.
people right now who have not made up their mind, and I think that we got the airwaves. I'm telling you, if you think it's bad now, wait until your grandma's got to move in with you because Social Security and Medicare has been knocked out. Wait until your prescription drug prices go through the roof. Wait until your kid comes home from school not with a degree but with a baby because she can't get an abortion. You think it's bad now? It can get worse. That's what we should be talking about.
Too soon for the pre-mortem, as David Axelrod.
Yeah, hey, listen, people have not voted. Until the last person votes, we should be making the case. And I think we should not have run from the economic argument. I think we should lean into it.
Lean into it. Yeah. That's a good idea. Lean into it.
Yeah, the economy's doing great. I mean, well, not that great, but it's going to get worse. Like, okay. I mean, people know something has to change. And I mean, hopefully, like I said, there was that poll out yesterday saying 63% of people think we need more stimulus to fix inflation. So if we haven't gotten that message across yet, I don't know what to do. But there has to be spending reined in. There has to be a little bit of economic pain here to get us back on track to not this crazy inflation, because it's going to destroy our country. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the Democrats I don't understand what happened to the party that brought us like Bill Clinton level messaging, right? Like, not like I like Bill Clinton, but he was really good at this working class stuff and really good. And even
No.
Obama was too,
Yeah,
as
but
long as he
also
wasn't
Clinton-
caught on a hot mic, like making fun of people in Western Pennsylvania clinging to guns and religion. But like when he knew he was being recorded, he managed to like appeal to those voters. He managed to put things forward in a way that did reach out to other people, but like, who are they performing for right now?
Yeah, but Clinton also recalibrated after the midterms because he wanted to have a good winning legacy. So he got Dick Morris in there, and they started the thing. They went fresh. By the way, did you see that Twitter was delisted on the stock exchange today?
I didn't see that, but I believe it. It's in a lot of trouble.
Can you believe is this all because they hate Elon Musk?
Yes, they're trying to destroy Twitter because they hate Elon Musk, and they're they're trying to kill it by strangling out the advertisers, the same like they do to everybody else. And then they go online and they say stuff like, "Oh, the industry insiders seem to be very worried about the lack of content moderation on the platform." Like, nothing's changed on the platform yet. It's all the same stuff. And they're like pretending that this is something that the advertisers like organically were concerned about, when it's not. It's like, it's the same as the Shirley Long stuff, right? Like, calling up the advertiser, "What do you think about the fact that so and so said this? Have you like..."
Yeah.
Whenever you're contacting advertisers, you're probably the bad guy. Just a thought. Like,
that is remarkable. Man, these people are really a cabal. They really are.
Yeah, they're terrible. They're terrible. And Republicans need to learn that this is not something that's happening in good faith. This is not like a good faith conversation about like the limits of content moderation on the internet, which, to be clear, is like a real conversation, because I wish that like porn were more regulated on the internet or whatever. Like I think there's real conversations there about what the limits should be, but I also like that's not what this is about. This is just about somebody bought a company that they feel they can't control him, and they are going to destroy him on purpose to just kill him. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what's happening, and how they've exposed themselves so much, especially when they're like, "Oh, Elon Musk buys it right before an election." Like, yeah, people are allowed to say stuff on the internet. Sorry.
Well, it also just shows just how much they knew always that they had full control over the content and pretended
Right.
they didn't. Oh, it's just terms of service. Just terms of service.
Yeah, it's a private company. It's fine. Yeah. But what's incredible about that too is that once again, like they're just not operating in good faith, right? So, and I think that this is something conservatives have had to open their eyes to over the last several years when you see I think the Candy Crowley Romney debate moment was big for a lot of people that I know, where Candy Crowley contradicts Romney right on the debate stage and lies basically at a critical moment of that campaign. And I think when you see like what happened to Kavanaugh, things like that, and then stuff like this where they just openly are saying like, no, we need to be in control of Twitter because there's an election coming up. Like you have to realize that like the conversation about the Hunter Biden laptop was not like about Hunter Biden's privacy and like he was hacked. It's about hacked materials. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it except power. They just want power and control over the conversation, over conservatives, over the elections,
Yeah.
and like nothing else will satisfy them. And it's not like we have to just not even like humor them anymore. We can't give them the benefit of the doubt because they absolutely just want to destroy Republicans, period, the end. And like you have to be like Trump was during the Kavanaugh stuff and just not blink. And hopefully like Elon Musk will be. Although I feel like he already like went out of his way to meet with these fanatics and try and make them happy. But like I don't know, maybe he's been radicalized enough now. Maybe he's realized that they're actually after him and out to get him at this point. I don't know.
Meta's Mark Zuckerberg says he is accountable as company preps for mass layoffs. Layoffs are to begin
Yep.
Wednesday morning, CEO Zuckerberg told hundreds of executives on Tuesday. Begin layoff employees Wednesday morning, Zuckerberg told hundreds of executives. Coming cuts are expected to total many thousands of employees and will likely be the largest of the year to date in the tech sector. Zuckerberg appeared downcast in Tuesday's meeting and said he was accountable for the company's missteps and that his over-optimism about growth had led to overstaffing, according to people familiar with the meeting. Can they wax him?
I don't know enough about the structure of that company and how much he owns. My feeling is he runs it with a little bit of an iron fist, so I think he's
Meta stock
stuck
has
there.
fallen more than 70% this year. Man.
Well, everybody's having problems right now. I mean, the economy's really in trouble, and like Democrats can't. This isn't an argument that they can win because the economy actually is in trouble. There's lots of great memes out there about voting a GOP ticket to kill democracy. I don't know if
I
you've
know.
been seeing these. There's lots of good ones. But yeah, it's all in good fun. We all
What's our
love democracy.
schedule like tomorrow?
What's our schedule like tomorrow?
Yeah, because I'm
You mean our
we gotta get Sally somehow up to
well, my schedule.
work.
I'm not coming back until Thursday,
Right. Okay. And so you got okay. I guess I'll handle
so
it.
my schedule involves an appointment in the morning.
Right. And by the way, where are you going to eat today?
We went to the store. We went to Vaughn's and we got food, and I think that'll do us. Like, I don't think I need to eat out at all, actually.
Good. Good. Don't spend any money.
I won't. I'm not going to. I had a delicious Cobb salad that I made myself because I can eat cheese now
Oh,
and things like that.
kill for it. Yeah, I had to not eat the risotto on my plate last night. I almost burst into tears.
And what else did I eat? I had tuna. Yeah, my like approved beef jerky,
Will
nuts,
any Republican win in
cheese.
will any Republican win in Massachusetts?
I'm
Democratic
hoping
seat.
Joe Finn is going to win. That's
seat is
for
that?
state. That's for state rep by us. I
Yeah, but
definitely think Bruce Tarr, who's
isn't that Lenny Mira's seat or who's?
no, it got divided up. Lenny Mira moved to Georgetown, I want to say,
Oh.
and which was in his district before, but then they rearranged the districts, so he probably will win. And this is a sort of a new seat, so. Anyway, so I think that's a possibility. I think there's I think they could pick up some little house seats and stuff.
Anthony Amori?
I don't think Anthony Amore is going to win. I think I think that auditor's race is just not high profile enough and exciting enough that people are going to know. I mean, I think there's like a bunch of people who read the Globe who probably will vote for Anthony Amore, but I just think people aren't paying enough attention to that race, like regular people. I think Jeff's going to do better than expected. I do. I think that guy running for Congress by us, Bob May, is going to do better than expected. Again, like there's just not a lot of polling in Massachusetts, so it's hard to say, but I think they'll pick up some seats here and there. And like we'll see what's going to happen. There is that guy running, Sean Dooley, who's running for state senate, who used to be a state rep, I believe, who could be good too. Morgan's suggesting I eat at In-N-Out. I don't want to spend any money, Morgan. Tom needs that.
I need it. Yes. Although we haven't really, we haven't done. Yeah, we went to a Big Y and got sandwiches and stuff. And Jimmy got them my brother got them a pizza yesterday, and there's still plenty left over and that stuff. And I'm eating
Yeah.
dust. So
Yeah, but so far so good.
I had some beautiful eggs this morning. I'm allowed to have eggs for breakfast, right?
Yeah, I think Paige said you could switch, but then you're supposed to eat dust for your other 2 meals.
Yeah, I will. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had
if
one
if that's your
before.
animal protein meal, that's your animal protein meal.
Yeah, I'll do that again tomorrow. I think that was effective.
Yeah, eggs are good. I got some of the hard-boiled eggs in a plastic bag for my Cobb salad.
Where'd you get those? I need those.
They had them in the deli section of the Vons. Or
Very.
not, I guess the deli section, but like the prepared foods, like the stuff that's already made, kind of. But yeah, I love those. I eat those all the time. They had a bag of 6.
So you want to go over to Jimmy Kimmel's wife?
Yeah, let's. I mean, all the Hollywood people are completely freaking out right now.
My wife, Molly, what are you doing?
I'm sounding the alarm, Jimmy.
I didn't know we had an alarm.
Oh, we do. I didn't either. It was backstage.
Okay. Why are you sounding an alarm you found backstage?
Because tomorrow is election day, and abortion rights are gone or in danger in 26 states, even though the overwhelming majority of this country supports a woman's right to choose. You have sex, is your intention to have a baby?
No. I just wait till you eat a gun.
What's your thoughts on the premise so far, Alice?
Well, my intention's to have a baby.
Right. But is there a 100% pregnancy rate with having sex?
No.
Are there precautions that can be taken when having sex?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In addition, one can also not have sex too.
And try to snuggle in.
That question was for them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Thank you very much.
This is high comedy.
Being a mom is the best and the hardest job on the planet. I can't imagine forcing any woman who doesn't want that job to take it against her will.
Man, what a grisly thing to say. Can
Yeah.
you imagine?
Well, the other thing is too that's funny
Mom
to
is
me.
the best, but you also have to make sure you delete kids in the womb.
Yeah. But if you don't, being a mom is awesome, but if you don't want to be one, then you can just kill the kid. It's fine. Yeah, the other thing about it too is, like she says, I can't imagine forcing that on someone. Well, we force that on men, like being a dad.
Sure, and also, I don't know if you.
So is it about like my body, or is it about we can't force someone to be a parent against their will? Because if it's about forcing someone to be a parent against their will, we do that to men. And like this goes back to the whole thing where when the abortion rights disappeared, all these people were like, "Oh yeah, well now we have to make sure that men like are involved in their children's lives and cover the pregnant woman on their health insurance and give child support from the moment of conception." And all the pro-life people were like, "Yeah, sounds good actually. Like
Right.
let's sign people up for that." Because yeah, you do have there is a time that you have to decide whether or not you want to be a parent, and that time is when you're having sex. You can decide to not do it, or to, like you said, take precautions to ensure that you don't become a parent if that's not in your plans. And the time that that decision gets made should be the same for men
6 out of 10
and
women
women.
who have an abortion already have kids at home. They know how hard the job is. 92% of abortions happen in the first 13 weeks. A good portion of the women who need one.
It's kind of beside the point, unless she tackles the fact that we're talking about a different life. And I mean, the whole thing is disingenuous because they're available all through the country.
Oh yeah, and especially
And they're
places like
some places putting
Massachusetts.
some limits on them, some places aren't.
One after the first trimester, do it because of health complications that could kill her or her baby.
Now, generally, if there's health complications that could kill her, it's legal.
Yes, everywhere, everywhere. There's nowhere in the country, and this is a common misconception, and it makes me crazy. There is literally nowhere in the country where it is illegal to get an abortion if the mother's life is in danger. That is not a thing.
Roughly half the women who have abortions live below the poverty line. I'm sorry, are you expecting this to be funny? Because it's not going to be funny. Yeah. They don't have the
Great. That's some excellent TV.
That's what we look for on the late night
TV.
shows. That's what we look for. Don't worry, we weren't expecting anything funny to happen.
Make sure we're not producing poor babies. Is what you just said.
Uh-huh.
Poor babies aren't worth keeping. Okay.
Resources to raise another child. They don't have the money to drive to another state to get health care. The only person.
Wow. Can you imagine how dark this is? God, and I'm not a crazy pro-life kind of guy, but this is so dark. So dark. There are so many reasons you can use to eliminate babies. Okay, why are you obsessed with this?
Who should be making a life-altering and potentially life-saving decision for a woman and her body is the woman herself.
I mean, is that true?
Well, the problem is this that we're talking about possibly women. There's another voice that we're advocating for. If she would just acknowledge that, this would be a lot less gross.
Well, right. And of course, there's no medical procedure. Like there's no medical procedure on the earth that people can just decide to do like fully on their own. There's always other considerations. There's insurance, there's ethics, like the FDA has to approve procedures and drugs. Like obviously it's fine for medical procedures to be regulated. That like we do it all the time. It's not that big a deal. And I think too, like the more we learn about abortion, particularly like that's why I think feelings have shifted on this too, especially when it comes to like the later in pregnancy abortions, is we know so much more now about the science of fetal development and what those babies actually look like and what they're doing and all that stuff like people start to feel squeamish. And I think that that's only going to get more so as we go along and our science gets better here, because most of the people going to doctors and hospitals who are pregnant don't want abortions and are trying to see the baby and then ultrasound and all this stuff. And I think that those experiences being out there, people seeing ultrasounds of their kids and everything, that it really increases people's discomfort with later term abortions very much.
I'm not out here with this dumb alarm asking you guys to love abortion. I'm asking you to love women enough, to trust women enough to make their own difficult decisions, and to vote for the people who will make that happen tomorrow. Our daughters should not have to fight the battles that our grandmothers won. Thank you.
Oh, God, what a stupid woman. I would hate to be married to that thing. Imagine the freaking hang-ups that she has if she's so hung up on the fact that that she's insecure about the fact that men aren't burdened this way that women are about being with pregnancies. It's just fundamentally unfair. So I get to do what I want because you don't have to deal with this. So it's so small. It's such a small brain thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, especially in blue states, the argument just carries no water. And I think that that's part of why you're seeing like Lee Zeldin surge is because people are seeing the crime and stuff in New York, and they are they're saying that these like concerns about abortion, that this isn't a serious concern in a place like New York. The New York legislature is not going to pass a law banning abortion. So it's fine to elect Zeldin as governor. He can't do anything about it. It's not something they really have to worry about, even if it's an issue that they care about.
Should we hit the
But
chat chat?
yeah, we can head over to the chat.
Going back into work,
I know, 7 to midnight.
No, it looks like 6 to 10 now.
Oh,
Reasonable.
Hi.
Hi.
Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
With a
hi,
program
Steve.
request. Any chance that we could move the microphones back a little from you two during your road trip? Today's episode sounded like Lord and Lady Darth Vader's Bird Metal podcast. Well, Alice, as you know, the election is drawing near. Yes, Tom, I know. The election is drawing near. Tom, I can't do DeSantis and Trump. I can't do that. Well, Alice, as you know.
How's he making that
Does the
noise?
code name Sapphire mean anything to you, Alice? No, Dom, but the mirror, Melrose, the moon. Oh my God. So distracting. Thank you.
So, Steve, that you will not have that. Steve obviously listens to the podcast rather than watches it. You won't have that today. That was my fault.
Your
yesterday.
compression yesterday or something?
Yeah, because we're on Zoom. Zoom is funny with audio anyway. It kind of already compresses stuff. And then
And it cuts out a lot of the audio that Tom
and then the
sends.
breaths are breaths of the
Uh-huh.
breathing, like that right there.
Yeah.
That is preserved a little bit on the Zoom because it's got a noise gate, I think.
Huh.
So then when I went in, I actually went in to fix it yesterday because what was it? Because something was louder than everything else. So I just did the speech volume
I
leveler.
think I was too quiet yesterday, maybe.
Or maybe, I'm not sure. I did the speech volume leveler in the Audition, and what it did is take those breaths and make them as loud as the speech.
I know.
So that's what he heard. Sorry about that.
Hey, Tom and Alice.
Hey.
I'm working on a song for the show.
Oh, nice.
Just to try to get my creative juices flowing. I'll have a go-see and see how this goes. Burn barrel, the only show where a man goes on and on about nothing, and his wife looks on in horror. Okay, that's just a taste of what I'm working on.
Well, I was starting to say, like, it's not the only show where a man goes on and on about nothing, because
Yeah,
there's
there's
definitely
a
a lot of those out there, but then you do have where his wife watches in horror. That's the unique element that we have. That's the selling point.
Barrel, this is Sal Silverstein. How's it going?
Good.
I just got out and voted. People were triple masked and quadruple jabbed, and then they said they got 12 boosters. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. Go out and vote, babies.
My goodness, who's Sal Silverstein?
I don't know.
Wow, exuberant though. Exuberant. I completely I give it a nod. I'm all for it. That's the music, Alice.
Thanks, honey. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Patreon listeners.
Are
Appreciate
you
you guys
sick?
joining us. Yes, I'm sick. I told you. I got sick during my airplane flight yesterday.
You have SARS-CoV-19.
Maybe. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you after the election.
See you later.
C'est la vie.